A benchmarking tool. Normally, why we use the benchmarking tool? For the optimizing the DMO performance. For the DMO performance optimizing, we will use the a benchmarking tool. So this is for the it's a recommended actually. This is the recommended to run it in the production environments, mainly for the production to run it. So before you start the complete test run of the DMO, it's highly recommended to run the benchmarking tool to evaluate the migration rate of system. So here we can find out the optimal number of R3 load process, optimize the table splitting and all those things here. So we can use it here. In the benchmark, we have the two options as we see yesterday. So one is the benchmark option. One is the export. Export means it will discard the data. So this option will benchmark the export data, will discard the data read. So all the means it will not do any import option here. Yesterday we have seen, right? It will not do any import, just only it will read the migration export rate. It will just read the export rate of the source system. It discarded the data read from the source DB here. So normally, why? Because why we have to use this export option? Yesterday we have seen only export benchmarking, only export discarded data. That is the option we have chosen here. So why? Because so source there the already the source system, the already users are there, already system is up and running, already have the some performance in the system, right? So why? Because since data already there in the source system, already users are there, you are additionally in the primary application server, you are executing this benchmarking. So which means it will give you the exact rate. Why? Because target, there is no load, nothing will happen. So if you run it in the export mode, we will come to know the any performance issues here. And we can also optimize the when you enable the repeated option, migration enable repeated option. Yesterday we have enabled, right? So then it will optimize the performance of the our source DB and everything here. So, well, because since the complete content of the source DB, we have to migrate to the HANA database. And also there is a additional load is generated on the source DB. But because source DB already there is a load, then we have to complete source database, we have to migrate to the target database. So additionally, you are running in the DMO. So already existing, there is a load, and additionally, you are running in the DMO, these two loads, how the migration rate will be, how the migration rate will be, how much time it will take, what is the database total migration GB. So to calculate this one, we will come to know this using the benchmark tool. So we will come to know the exact hours estimations and all those things in the system here, right? So the another hand, the largest part of the data is transferred during the downtime also, right? Therefore, we have to optimize the our source DB. So maybe some multiple R3 load process increasing, decreasing, so that we can do it here. The massive data will transfer during the time, network speed, all those things we have to do that one benchmarking tool. So yesterday we have executed up to some steps we have executed. I think we have chosen the download directory, kernel directories as well. So after that, so always it will create the one file under USR to evaluate the migration rate. So under USR, SAP, SID, some, let me show you here some. So above, so here there is a migrate folder here. So load, sorry, not the migrate, there is a load folder here. So this load folder here, there is a migrate. Here you have the, so here you have the migration evaluation files are there here. Migration evaluation files are there here. These are the files. Whatever the top tables you selected, with GBs and everything, all the migration rate here it will be there. Here there is a one file that is called the EU migrate tool. There is a one file that is called the EU migrate source. There is a one file here. So let me check here. Yeah, EU migrate export log. If you see here, this EU migrate export log here, you scroll down, lastly, it will give you the some summary here. That is very important here. You can see that these two lines are very, very important here. So here, average load. So this summary is very important. This summary is very important here, right? So total summary. This is the total export summary. How much time it will take it out here. So total, so 35 minutes. Then how many? Six process, six R3 load process, six R3 load process here. Only export six R3 load process, 3 plus 3, and export timelines. Total size of the DB may total almost 49 GB. So what is the migration rate here? 23.01 MB seconds means. So here the migration rate is per hour 82 GB getting transferred. As per current network bandwidth, 82 GB is getting transferred here, but it is very less compared to the SAP. So normally the migration rate, so per hour 300 GB per hour, 300 GB should transfer, which means so per minute, per minute 5 GB should be transfer rate. The transfer rate should be 5 transfer rate here. But in our case, if you see, so it is very less bandwidth, means network, maybe network bandwidth or something. So it's very less here. So, and also here it will tell you the total timelines also for the six process for 10 percentage of DB. So how much time it's taken, right? Suppose here you can see we have enabled the migration, multiple iterations, means enable the migration option you have enabled yesterday, which means so you want to initially just you want to go with the go to continue with the next phase, or just I want to go with the migration phase again, just increase the process to the 6 to 12, just evaluate the again summary, again summary here, how much it is coming, what is the db main source system performance and everything here. So this line is important here, this line is a very important line. So final summary, we will get it out here. Summary of the export, only export. How much time elapsed, total size of the database, then what is the migration rate per second and per hour. So you will get all the information here. So normally the standard SAP recommended rate is 300 GB per hour. 300 GB per hour migration speed. We are not even like 150 GB also. So 80 GB per hour means our due to our network or internal network related things. So that is the thing. So only this is our SAP. So expecting for migration rate. So multiple iteration. That's why we have enabled the migration this thing. So if you just go with the this phase again here, so again it will exporting the tables from. So it will go to here. So here we can find out if you go to the utilities here. So here there are some parameters here, how much parameters you have chosen SQL process. So only this process will influence the entire migration rate here. So this one we have to choose it based upon the number of CPU cores here, 3 to 5 times of number of CPU cores R3 load process. Only this process will influence the entire migration. So migration process here. So 3 into 6, 18. Suppose now if you increase the 12, downtime is like a 1.5 plus, like it's kind of like 18. If you increase it here, so then save it. So then now you can evaluate the migration rate and everything here. Now we can evaluate the migration rate and everything, source DB and everything here. We can evaluate it. So in this way, multiple times if you are doing, then somewhere we will get the analysis, and also we can also manually we can check the source DB. But the current, why? Because currently already there is a load in the system. So this for additionally this migration load, both should be sufficient. It should not be hung status, right? So then based on that multiple iterations during the testing cycle, during our testing to evaluate during the testing how many number of process we have to keep it. So we have to do this kind of things we have to perform it in our systems here. So this is what we have to do it. Only source is the source, calculating the source load is very important here. So why? Because source already there is a load. There plus additionally you are running in the some DMO for migration. So two loads here, which influence the entire system OS performance and system performance and everything here. So first option we can run it, export data with discarded data. So this will run benchmark of the data export and discard the data read from the source database and everything here. So to test and optimize the performance of the source DB. Mainly, we need to look at the source database. Target, there is no load, nothing will happen, only source will happen. So that is the reason. So first option is okay. Second option also we can evaluate the import procedure and everything. That is also we can test it out. In the second scenario, we can also use the second test scenario. We can use it here. So that is the benchmarking. We can run it multiple iterations. We can execute it. The main thing is that we have to enable the migration repetition option. Multiple times we can repeat it instead of ending the sum tool and again executing. If you enable it migration repeated option, so that will end the that will multiple times we can do that one here, right? That is a very important here.
Sir, soon is in progress, right? That time we change the parameter. Will it affect? Means, can we change in runtime?
Yeah, we can change it in runtime. So that's not a problem. Previous sums, we have to restart the SAP host agent or something. I think in the latest sum, it will impact immediately. Yeah, this will impact immediately. This
Any
will
phase
affect.
during downtime, any phase it can be changed?
Yeah, we can change it. We can change it. Yeah, we can change it. So yeah, we can change it. We can change it anytime. Suppose like you have given the wrong number, but system already loaded your CPU and memory utilization. Current system is already loaded. So in that case, we can revert back. We can revert back. Maybe we can change the process. But already the existing process are there. There is nothing will happen. If the new processor which are initiating new R3 load processor, new processor which is initiating, that will be reduced. But already the processor running means the system some will wait to complete those process, R3 load process and everything here. So here operating system level, so we can observe it here how many R3 load process are running here based on that. So if you just open here R3 load process here, R3 load process, how many we can exit, how many are running currently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 processes are running currently here, right? So 10 processes are running here. Normally we have chosen 12. So currently 10 batches are running here. So maybe it will increase it. It will increase it based on that here. So it will increase it. Or let me turn downward. Let me type on three load. Yeah, these are the 10 are running currently in the system. 10 processes are running. So here, if you increase it, this will increase it. So CPU performance also will be increased. So the memory performance also will be increased by the R3 load process here. So we need to keep monitoring this system performance also here, how it is, how it will be, how the performance. Because source system already SAP is running. So and the users already there, they are doing everything. So and additionally, you are putting the additional load is called the migration rate. Only source export you are rating. That is only influence. That is only one factor. So we need to consider. Mainly, we need to check the already source system is running without impacting the source. You need to run the sum tool also. Then how many number of process you need to keep it here. So that is the main thing here. So importing, that's not a problem. Export and import team. Why? Because import on the target system, data into the target system. Target system is already idle status. Nothing is there target system. So once we have the executed at least one export of the benchmark is completed, we can import the migration combination, export and import combination. That is also we can run it. Second option. Our second option is the export and import in combination. In this way, we can find out the if our target HANA database is already running the peak performance all. So, and also it's need to be optimized. Means target is already, in case of target already, there is a one HANA database already running. It's already in the high performance. Then what about that case, right? In case of new HANA system, that's not a problem. But target already running in the high performance, peak performance. In case of that need to be optimized for the mass import of the migration data, anything. So then, so we can use the export plus import data here. So that is what we can go with this one. So it depends upon the scenario. Every scenario, export with discarded data, export plus import, both are, it depends upon the our use cases only. Both are like a use cases. Both are normally like a use cases. Only import option, we need to go with the for when you are doing the import option, already system is having suffering. There is a one more tenant you are going to create it that time. So you can use the import option to evaluate the entire end-to-end flow migration rate also. Not only just export option, import option also you can just calculate it here. That option will be helpful.
That migrate export is not talking about the memory, right? Estimated memory and consumption.
Current system usage rate, it will calculate. Definitely it should be memory. Why? Because performance means the key performance contributors are CPU, memory, and
In
disk.
the log,
Yes. So these are the
migrate export logs.
right.
Is it talking about memory also? Means
Memory also,
estimating.
estimating memory also, exactly. Like it will calculate this load also, current load also, it will calculate based upon the current load, current performance. So the migration rate will be displayed. Migration
Yeah.
rate, how much rate?
Open that log, please. One second. The two lines we use. Two lines.
Let me open from here. Yeah, that is gone. Because of some six process expecting disk space manager, R3 load compression. Command line, 1 lakh tables, 39 tasks, estimation. So disk space usage, including RT load compression. We have executed again, right? So that's why the logs are somewhere. Let me check. The table size and bucket size. Size MB and how much time it's taken. Size and how much time.
I didn't see the memory information. That's why I'm asking. Something try with the average. Something we saw average. A total something. Total size something. 50 watts right there. Okay, sir, we'll see final after that. Why to waste time?
Yeah, I'm just checking here. Any old files are available. You migrate stop.
It will not give in some main screen, sir. Only we have to check in this log file only.
Yeah, here we can check it out. But here in the utilities also we can check. Utilities also in the some analysis. So here
I
not
mean, in some screen finally it will not display.
final screen it will display. Not now. Yeah, but the only thing is we have we have tested, right? We have executed, re-executed. That's why the log
Hmm.
file got overwritten, I think. So, but here it will display. Definitely, it will display what is the CPU usage, memory usage.
What the is
Sorry.
Some background noise.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it will display. Why? Because definitely the migration
Yeah,
rate,
correct.
it will calculate the your CPU and memory also. Why? Because your R3 load process are running, so these
Correct.
process are almost consuming the some amount of CPU and
And
memory as well. So, but if you, where is that?
without estimating memory, just increasing the CPUs, it is not going to work out.
Right,
Right.
right. Definitely, the it will also it will depend upon the CPU memory also. Maybe finally it will display the summary. Somewhere your post analysis here the bucket tail viewer duration benchmarking tool. Okay. Yes. So table level. So the duration in seconds. But we cannot understand anything here. So table level, each table, it is giving the information. So each table, the table size and start time, end time for the real duration. So panel duration, number of splits, row count, rate. So what is the table rate? This is displayed for each table. So if I go with this one, this is displayed. So table wise, it is displayed. So they go to the bucket. Table process. So we wait for it will come like CPU, memory, some options will come here.
Okay.
Let's see this time. So we'll wait for to end it. So then we'll review that options this time. So we can we can execute it. We can also this time we will export the the analysis files and keep it safer side for review purpose, so that we can review it as well later. Also, if you want to review, we can review it, those files. So instead of repeating, so that we can do that one. So basically, this is just to R3 load export rate, R3 load. If you are doing the import, R3 load import rate. So that is only for that calculation only. So that we will get the estimation, the exact migration rate, and how many minutes or hours it will take. So that time duration we will get, we will get. So based on that,
And,
we can plan our activities.
and this estimation, this is for downtime phase only, or total phase, pre-processing,
The
post-processing.
final estimation you are getting and entire from starting to ending, how much, what is the duration, summary, entire export summary only. Only we selected the export summary, right? Only export summary only.
In that phases are there, right?
Sorry?
Only execution phase, or it is talking about all the phases.
Not all the only execution phases only. It will calculate only execution phases. So because
Correct.
the main work starts from so the pre-processing and everything, right? So main work starts from exporting and don't know that rate only. It's not like that our inputs giving the inputs and it will not calculate those things. Only some started when the first R3 load process and it is finished. So that time, so it will calculate it.
Execution space.
Actually, the good migration speed is should be above 300 GB per hour. That is what 300 GB per hour. But our migration rate is very, very less because of the network speed, current memory, CPUs. So those things all will influence the migration rate. So okay, well, let's keep it running this one. So then we can start. So we can end up this one. Maybe we can today, tomorrow, we can keep it running all those things. So I think, yeah, is it required tomorrow's class? Saturday? Do you guys think?
Generally, how you follow, sir? Means for other
Or
batches.
other batches, for basis batches, they have only Saturday classes. But migration batches, previously, actually, no, actually, no, they have not opted for the Saturdays, Sundays classes.
Sir, we can continue on Monday.
Yes, sir. Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's Monday. So
Yeah.
at least we will have time to recheck and
Yeah, Monday exactly we'll start the actual execution. So Monday we'll start the actual instead of benchmarking, we'll continue our procedures. And there are a lot of things too I have to explain here. Once the benchmark completes, so what exactly the sum will do, we'll read it, we'll process it, what log files we have to calculate it. So this is a very important log file. This is a benchmarking tool testimony we are running, that's fine. So, but previously we have not executed any benchmark tool also, just we continued, but it's not a problem. Just we'll see it here. So some always will create this file is very, very important. Under the sum, there is a load folder here, load folder. So this file is the very important. All the source exports will keep into under this folder only. Will keep into this folder only here. The first time when we migrate, this is the migration related files here, right? It will create the task, .txt, task command files here. So these are the script files, batch files. So these are the script files and batch files here. So during the actual execution time, what it will, these commands will be executed by your some tool here. These are the command files here. These are the command files here. These commands will be task files and everything. So this will be executed by this is the Windows level command files here, scripts. So command scripts files. When we execute this script, so all the data will be exported. So who will execute? Not we. Some will execute it. Until load, export and import. It will do that one. So each and every file, some will not, some during the DMO migration time, some will not touch any files here in this case. Only this is the load folder is the very important. In this load folder, so it will calculate it will load all the files here. It will load all the files, export files and everything. So depends upon your table, all the files will be created here. So .exp, .task, .str, three files mainly it will create it here. So here the exp file is the command script. When this is executed, the subsequent task files, str files also will be executed here. So this is the important thing here. This will contain some information of the how many rows entries are there. So it will give you the some information, resource usages here, percentage, real user is some kind of information. But the migration related, this load is important basically. These files are important. Here it will clear the lot of files. So migration, there lot of folders will be created here. Now benchmarking tool we are running in the, so this mode, that's fine. But here actual load time, the repo load is also one of the file which is having the more GB, DD and TTP, and many files, many task files it will create it here. One. So these script files, I meant to say these are the task files, script files. When the actual execution comes, when there is a situation to data transfer by some tool, that time, so these commands will be executed. These commands will be executed one by one, so that based on this one, data exports will happen and import happen. So it kind of a what the sum tool will use it here, export import method it will use it here. Export to the your local file system, some load file system, from here to this is the sum. Okay, so it will do the export, R3 load export process here, R3 load export, then it will import to the target system here. It will import to the target system. It will import R3 load and R3 import. So that's why R3 load and R3 import is the main process. So that's the reason we have to use the latest kernel. If you are using the old kernel, R3 load also old version only. Then so little bit some any box of the kernel R3 load or anything. So that will not be covered. So we will give it that is a slow rate, slow transfer. Sometimes it will be your R3 load process is existed with the so different things because of R3 load version is very low and longer time. So that is the main thing here.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Sir, in different development or quality system, we are using different Java system or you can say ABAP. So there different kernel version are using in migration time. So why so?
Different kernel version. Normally,
Yes.
yeah, landscape in our landscape, we are keeping our landscape in the good shape. We have to will maintain the common kernel in the all the landscape systems, ABAP and Java. Any systems will maintain the common kernel directories. Common means
But it's
same version.
instructed that we have to maintain the source kernel to in import time the same kernel version.
Normally in your landscape, if you are having the different kernels, so that is fine. The kernel means that is fine. Maybe ECC, or if you are having the suppose like S4 and a different kernel version, so that's why means it depends upon the product actually. So if you are using the two old systems, so then definitely new kernel will not too old and now and the legacy operating systems or anything legacy systems, definitely we have to use the old kernel only.
Okay, sir.
There should be different kernels. Why so means yeah, depends upon the systems usage. If the legacy systems, so if you update the kernel, system will not start, right? Then that time they will keep the old kernel, keep it the same. The now current system, business suite systems and SCC CRM systems, those are the business systems. Always they will keep the operating systems up to date and also kernels also up to date. So that time the migration rate is little bit fast. Why? Because the R3 load is the main contributor here to perform the export and import procedure. Why? Because some tool is not the one. Tool will call the R3 load process, which is there in our kernels, kernels here. So here in the sum tool, if you see it here, so some tool will call the RT load process and everything here. So RT load not here. So when the shadow creates here, it will copy the data, but some tool will call the RT load process here. The RT load process is for which is there in the current kernel only. So current kernel only. Where is the current kernel? You can see the R3 load. Right, you see, it is copied, the R3 load process, the R3 load process here. This is R3 load process here. It will copies the file, means it will issue the current to R3 load process only here. So this is the main here. But this will come as part of the kernel when the actual executions means some kernel. So some kernel. So when the actual execution starts, so when the shadow time, import time, transferring the data that time, so it will use our current one, our current kernel, which is there in the exe folder. So that will use it. That will use it here. So R3 load will influence the entire migration rate and everything. Why? Because if you have more number of process, then so a little bit it will impact the performance, but your migration rate is very fast. Why? Because it will transfer the data, multiple R3 load process. It will split the package into the buckets wise. Then it will transfer the data.
So migration more responsible by R3 load, and what is it? Upgrade is more responsible by R3 trans. Am I right?
Yeah, upgrade time also R3 load, but R3
Yeah.
trans,
But
right?
main
Main is R3 trans.
Sir, if you have time, that can you please tell that formula for one CPU, how many R3 loads, R3 trans, and the SQL process? I think 1.2 or some blocks will tell 1.5, some blocks will tell 1.3. SQL process is a 3.
Right,
What
right.
formula you will follow?
Normally, even I don't have any separate formula. Even I also use the same same SAP formula only. So here normally standard, we have the standard note is also a SAP thumb rule formula and is there.
Correct.
So normally ABAP process and SQL process and R3
Load.
trans, R3 trans and
R3
R3 load. So here R3 load 3 into 5 times of CPU cores.
CPU.
So here R3 trans and SQL is the 1 into only we will use it here. 1 into number of CPU cores. So here R3 trans also people will use the 1 into so number of CPU cores here. Only R3 load we will use the 3 into 5 times of CPU cores here. Suppose if your CPU cores are suppose 8, then 3 into 8.
Yeah.
So 24 R3 load process during the uptime. Okay. So then for downtime system will be down, right? So it's a 1 plus means 24 plus half by 2 again 0.5 means 12, which means so 36 process, 36 R3 load process, so during the downtime. So which means so the formula is for the downtime, if you know the uptime, 1 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2 equals to 1 in, sorry, not so 1 plus the 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2. So which means, so uptime how many? Maybe I can put it this way. Uptime plus and by 2, uptime by 2. So total how many? So because uptime 24, then 24 plus by 2, then uptime by 2, then 12, right? I mean off process here. So then 12, total 36 R3 load process during the downtime. So normally this is also we will calculate for the during the some upgrade time also we will collect the same process here. Same as applicable. So when they are processing uptime how many process, downtime how many process, right? Above uptime and downtime. So see SQL process, R3 trans process, uptime, downtime. So downtime is little bit higher than uptime. Why? Because downtime there is no system load. So that's why we will increase this one here. There is a note actually from SAP. There is a note. Let me check that note. R3, no. There is a note and there is a note. Number of process. There is a note actually. Parallelism, parallel, parallel number of process. There is a parallelism process. So let me check. This process depends upon the second parameter is the first is the above process. That is equal to the number of BTC process. SQL process, that is for physical CPUs, 1 into physical CPU. R3 trans also 1 or 2 times of physical CPUs, number of CPUs. That is fine. The last one is the R3 load. The fourth parameter is R3 load parameters. That is the main thing here. Yes, you can safely significant number of the parameter 3 into 5 times of, so number of CPUs here. So number of CPUs here. So here there is a downtimes packages.
And this formula is common for all operating
Yeah,
systems, right?
yeah, right. It's common actually. Yeah, it's common.
And one more in benchmark tool, I think table compression factor is not considered. Am I right?
Table compression, R3 load compression, something there is a one log file we see, right? Let me see, open this one.
While giving inputs, I didn't remember that.
In compression factor, so it's not taken our input, but by default R3 load will apply the some compression actually.
No, sir. Means during the migrations, we'll opt for the table splitting and table splitting. Sorry, table splitting will opt, right, to minimize the
Yes,
downtime.
right.
In benchmark tool, that factor is not considered. Am I right?
Yes, benchmark two, that is not there. That is a table splitting. There is separate option is there under the benchmark. There is separate option, but not
Is there?
included in the benchmark tool. Some tool it is there, but not in the benchmark tool.
Correct. I mean to say, suppose you estimated a runtime in benchmark, but when you are opting a table splitting, then the time will be different, right?
Right. The time will be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why exact just runtime timelines, rate, and everything will get, but sometimes that may increase also. Depends upon the source performance. Still, it is calculating all the things. So 31 bucket tables, 1, 2, 3, 4 total tables here, 24 tables. Size, each and everything estimated. Yeah. So if we complete this one, so for this today, Monday, we'll start the actual execution. Then we will come to know what's happening, and every time, so we'll come to know all the information.
Can you send the screenshot of the final output once it is finished?
Yeah, we will save it actually. We will save it. We will save it somewhere in our folder only. We'll create one folder in our C drive. For later, we will review this purpose. And here in the E drive only, we will
In
save.
Zoom screen also it will show it's something
Right.
final output that is also wanted to see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll review that one, all those things. So if anyone wants to perform, just to save the logs, maybe if someone wants to means evaluate the migration, these things, just you can save the current logs. Okay, save the current the utilities file or screenshot. Maybe you can send the screenshots in the group so that we can discuss those things as well. Okay, maybe if you are performing in the weekends, you will get the time. If you want to run the benchmark tool and everything, just you can run it. Okay, you can free to run it, not a problem. Okay, you can run it, you can coordinate and you can run it, and you can run in the different modes. You can run it. So actual our means actual our some execution starting from extraction and everything will start exactly Monday without any delay. So just if you want to check the benchmarking and everything, just you can execute it Saturday, Sunday, we have the time, so you can execute it. Okay.
Yeah.
So whoever running, just to something is any locks are there, just to take it separately. The locks here I created in the eDrive some migration logs or something. You can keep it everything here. So that will be next time when you are referring, so we can refer those things as well.